All right, welcome back everybody to another YouTube video. This one is gonna be all about becoming an airline pilot and the top 5 reasons why you would wanna be an airline pilot. A lot of people ask me what it's like to be an airline pilot. Every time I tell them that's my career, they wanna know what it's like. So this is gonna really highlight those top 5 things. I'm also gonna talk about kind of the devil's advocate, the double-edged sword of some of these top 5 things. But as you know, I love the job and I wouldn't change it for any other job in the world. I have friends in every industry, doctors, lawyers, sales, obviously social media, and I'm telling you, this is one of the best jobs, if not the best job in the world. And if you are interested in more information after this video, I just created my ebook called Becoming an Airline Pilot. It has my entire journey, how I got here, and then also all the information that I wish that I would have known before I got into it, all in one document. So I'm really proud of it. We just started putting it out there. It took me a while to put together, and I really feel like it was something that I wish I had earlier in my journey. But let's get right into it. The top 5 things in being an airline pilot. Number 1, flying the airplane. I just love being in control of a vehicle. I've always loved, driving cars. I had motorcycles. I have my boater's license, my motorcycle license. Then I got my pilot license. I just love being in control of a vehicle, because it's fun. It's fun to drive things, and I think the top of that is flying an airplane. That is like the top of the pyramid. It is so fun, taking off, pushing the power forward, accelerating down the runway, rotating, and just taking off in the air. And then probably the most fun part is landing the airplane, and then just how free it really does make you feel in terms of flying around. Like, you feel a lot more free in the beginning of your career flying Cessnas when you're flying VFR and not under control of air traffic control. But, a little bit of that freedom goes away when you're flying in the airlines. But it's still one of the best feelings in the world is flying an airplane. So that has to be number 1 for me. Number 2, schedule flexibility. I'm telling you, the schedule flexibility is the main reason I went into the airlines, and it's the main reason I hype up this job to anybody. As you know, on this channel, I personally sit reserve and I don't fly super often because I have the side hustle of working with brands on social media and training for these races. Right now I'm training for the Ironman, and I know plenty of pilots that have other businesses, whether it's real estate or selling products or whatever it may be. You can either fly as little as you want or as much as you want, and you can change that schedule every single month. For example, we are in October and I've flown 73 hours this entire year, and I've been getting paid 75 hours minimum credit every single month. Some guys fly a lot more and they make a lot more. So you can kind of, adjust your schedule and manipulate your schedule to either fly a lot and make a lot of money, or fly as little as possible and make the minimum pay, allowing for your other, coworkers to then either pick up that flying or make that extra money. So I just think having that schedule flexibility is a game changer, and it's allowed me to focus a lot on my personal businesses and training, and that's epic for me right now. And then if I ever go into a season of life where I want to fly a bunch and make extra money on the flying side, I can do that in the change of a month. So being able to do that is an absolute game changer. All right, number 3, pay and career growth. This is a pretty high paying job. It's a job that pays just as well as doctors and lawyers and sometimes more. So you don't really have to worry about not making enough money when you get into this career. First year in the airlines, nowadays you're making $100,000 a year, and some of these captains are making $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year on minimum-ish pay. That's top scale, wide body pay, about $500,000 a year. But when you start getting some premium pay and flying more than your minimum guarantee and really stacking up those hours, I've heard of people making $1 million a year. You would have to fly your absolute face off, but the money is here in this career. It's definitely there. Right now, I'm a 4-year FO. We're on a later contract, which isn't amazing right now, but I'm still making $134,000 a year. So very, very comfortable. And like I said, it gives me the flexibility with that minimum pay to make money elsewhere. So the pay is here, and you get a raise every single year. When you upgrade to captain, you double your pay, and the opportunities are kind of endless in terms of how much money you can make. So that's a big one. Obviously, everybody wants to make money. I love money myself. I'm sure you do as well. So if you want to make some money, you can definitely do it here as an airline pilot. Number 4, huge, travel benefits. You can fly anywhere in the world for free, basically. Sometimes you have to pay for taxes, but if there's an open seat, you're an airline pilot or a flight attendant, you hop on. You go wherever you want. You can even get your partner or your family members on those flight benefits as well. You can kind of spread out that benefit of being an airline pilot to those around you, and it is epic. I do it fairly often. You show up somewhere, most of the time, I would say 90% of the time I get on, probably even more than that, 99% of the time I get on the flights. Even if there's no seats in the back, you can usually sit up front with the pilots in the jump seat. Not the most comfortable, but you're still getting to your destination for free. So that has to be one of the best things. If you like to travel, if you want that flexibility to be able to just show up at the airport and be like, boom, I want to go here today, look up the loads, figure out how many seats are open, boom, you can go to Italy tomorrow. It's pretty endless on where you can go when you can hop on a plane for free. So that's got to be top 5 right there. And then number 5, I would say, is just community and lifestyle. Like being able to be in multiple places fairly often allows you to connect with a broad community of people. You can connect with a lot of people in the industry, other pilots, other flight attendants, where you all have those flight benefits and you can all travel together and go on epic trips and adventures. I don't typically do that with a bunch of other pilots, but I have some pilot buddies in the industry and we have traveled together. But I, in the fitness community, am able to stay connected to a lot more people when I'm able to travel for free and even just travel on work trips. Like I go to Denver a decent amount on trips when I get the call, and I hit up my buddies out there. Or in Cleveland, I'll hit up my buddies out in Cleveland. Or if I'm in Chicago, I'll hit them up in Chicago. You're in a lot of places fairly often, so you're able to connect with a lot more people more often in person. So that is epic. The lifestyle to be able to do that and to be able to connect with more people is just epic, I would say. So, like I said before, there's truly not a person with a different job that I would want to trade places with. This job gives you it all. It gives you the ability to fly the plane, schedule flexibility, the pay you would want for the rest of your life, travel benefits, and lifestyle. And there's other benefits to it. Now, I would say a little bit on the double-edged sword, flying a plane, if you don't like being in control and that stresses you out, it might not be for you, because it is a lot of responsibility with a lot of people's lives behind you, and you need to keep, a clear, steady mind, and you need to be, locked in, obviously, when you're at work. But if that doesn't bother you and you like being in control and you like, a little bit of pressure like that and you thrive under that pressure, then this job's for you. Schedule flexibility. The other side of that would be that your schedule can constantly change. If you like to do the 9 to 5 and you like to do the exact same thing every single day and don't have, the space in your life for things to change like that, then, maybe it's not for you. But I personally like the ability to change my schedule on a monthly basis. Pay and career growth. There's really not too many downsides to it. Like I said, you can fly as much as you want or as little as possible. If you did have a side hustle and you wanted to focus more on that, you can. So I wouldn't really say there's a double-edged sword there. I'm sure there's other careers where you can make more money, but I don't think you can with the same type of quality of life, in my opinion. Travel benefits, there's no downside to travel benefits other than, you know, if you just want to always buy your flights, you can do that as well. Like if I really need to be somewhere and I don't want to roll the dice on, you know, a standby seat being open, then you can always just pay for it. So there's really no downside. But if you don't like that, you know, that adventure in your life of possibly not getting on, then I would just say buy your tickets wherever you're going. And then community and lifestyle, you're traveling a lot, you're gonna meet a lot of people, and there's really no downside to it. But if you're on call and you do get called a lot, or early on in your career where you don't have as much seniority and you don't get exactly what you want, you might be away from home for a decent amount. But I'm telling you, once you gain seniority and you start getting, you know, the schedule that you want, you will be able to be home more than most people with other jobs. You know, you might be gone for a couple days in a row, but you'll be home for a few days in a row as well. So I would say that is my top 5. I mean, put down below if you guys think there's other tops on why you think being an airline pilot would be one of the best jobs in the world. Like I said, if you want more information, more frequently asked questions, I get questions all the time and I put those in there as well as one of the chapters. I try to put, like I said, everything I wish I would have wanted to know when I first started in this ebook called Becoming an Airline Pilot. I will have the link down below for you guys to get that. It's $19.99. I think it's great value for that price, and I hope you really like it. A lot of people have been telling me that they've loved it and they've taken a lot from it, and I'm just stoked to give back to you guys and you know, just kind of share my journey and then also just all that information in one spot. So I really appreciate it if you guys purchase that. And also if you're looking for a flight school to go to, I went to a school called Melbourne Flight Training. It's on the east coast of Florida, Melbourne, Florida, and it was an amazing experience. I did all my flight training there, got all my ratings there. I became a flight instructor, did all of my time building there until I went to the airlines, and I can't recommend it enough. It was truly an amazing experience doing all of my journey at that school, and I have more details on that journey in the ebook. So if you're looking for a good school, I would definitely at least give them a call, let them know that I sent you, and who knows, maybe you'll start your flight training there or you'll find a different school, but I'm telling you, I absolutely love my experience there. No matter where you decide to go to flight school, I would say the biggest thing is finding a flight instructor that you like, that you learn from, and that makes the process enjoyable. It is a hard process. Nothing worthwhile is going to be easy. You're going to have to study, but it's a fun thing to study and work hard towards, and it's very, very gratifying when you get there. It's worth it. It is worth all the studying. I'm telling you, sitting here today, 4 or 5 years in the airlines, I wouldn't change my life with anybody else. I'm truly living my dream, and if you want to do this, I'm telling you, you can too. I'm not this extraordinary person. I'm not a genius. I was never the best at math in school, which, by the way, a lot of people think you need to be really good at math. You just need to be able to do simple math. There's not that much math in becoming an airline pilot. And just don't let anybody scare you away from your dream if this is it. I'm telling you, take the first step. Go do a discovery flight. Do each step going forward, and I'm telling you, you'll get more and more comfortable and you'll fall in love with it. And at the end of it, when you get to the airlines, you will be so happy you did it, because it is the best job in the world. I'm telling you. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. This was a short one this week, but I just felt like I really needed to talk about this. And I know a lot of people message me and they're on the edge of, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? I'm telling you, you should do it. If you're really thinking about doing it, you think this career is going to make you happy, go for it, take the leap, and I'm telling you, you're going to be stoked when you get into it. So anyway, all the links down below help out. Please get the ebook if you want more information. Check out Melbourne Flight Training. If you're training for something like me, endurance-wise, check out BPN, code JOEM, and honestly, any links down below really help out. So I appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.